This is Moulage. This is all ground up. This has actually been used before. It can be used over and over again. It's a rubber-like material. It's like really wet rubber is what it feels like. This will be like this at room temperature or even at body temperature, 98.6, but just over that. And this is Moulage in a double boiler. And this is what you want it to look like. It's almost creamy like. And this is ready to go. This is the nose of a bear that I sculpted out of Sculpey clay, and I want to make reproductions because this is the way you open a trash basket, by the nose of a piece of functional art that I thought would work good for hunting camps. So the way I would do this now is I would build a box perimeter around this to contain the moulage. When I pour it in there, when it cools, it's going to look like this. So what I want to do then is take this out, remove the nose, and now I have a perfect press mold where I can press in sculptural epoxy, a thin shell of it, about 1/4 of an inch thick. And then this is what it will look like when it's done. So this is the sculptural epoxy. As you see, it's hollow, it's very lightweight, and it's an exact reproduction of the bear's nose. Let's say I want to capture the fabric pattern in this lovely sweater. So I'll go down around the base. We'll pour on the moulage material that's molten. Don't worry. This stuff doesn't stick to anything. Put the moulage on top, spread it around. Now you wouldn't normally want to do this to a nice article of clothing like this. When the moulage feels cool to the touch, that's when you know that it's ready to peel apart. And here you go. Let's just do this, pull it apart. You see how that's going? Now I have a perfect impression of that sweater. I'll peel it very slowly. And you see nothing sticks to Phil's hat, but I do have a perfect impression of that. Here you can see I got part of a sweater on. It's just kind of laid in here right now. This is just a strip that I molded and then cast. Now the way I made these sweater edges like this is I made a mold of an actual old sweater that I had laying around for a lot of years, had holes in it and everything else, and then put a button in there to simulate a button-down shirt. And then I made the mold of, or a casting of these by pressing in the epoxy. You just keep working it. Here's one for the zipper. Now you can just see there's the mold, and you can see how the zipper came out. So here, let me flip this over for you. There you go.
Just love that so much. What a bush. What a man.
The moulage grabs it pretty well. It gives you a nice detail even down to the threads and everything else. So it's pretty cool how it works. So now that all that's popped out of there and I've made a positive of that, this is what it looks like. So now, saved me the time of sculpting in a foot. So now all I got to do is fill the gaps and follow the pattern, and I should have a nice looking shoe after the epoxy is all set up and done.
Now, before we go any further, you have to know that where you're standing here, this is the official Phil Nemistow Pocket Park.
A round of applause for the dedication and unveiling of